The family of a student hailed a hero is speaking out right now. This is 21-year-old UNC Charlotte student Riley Howell. He died after jumping on a gunman who opened fire in his classroom on Tuesday. They say his actions saved the lives of his classmates. Here's what Riley's parents said about their son.
Everybody ran and Riley chased.
While kids were running one way, our son turned and ran towards the shooter. We are just beyond proud of what he was able to do.
Riley Howell, one of two victims of Tuesday's school shooting. The other was 19-year-old Ellis Parlier. 4 others were wounded. News of Tuesday's shooting on the heels of the synagogue shooting on Saturday has renewed debate. We all say something needs to happen to stop gun violence, but what exactly should we do to stop the bloodshed? Well, officials in Florida are taking action, sending a controversial bill to the governor, allowing teachers to carry guns on campus. But will arming school staff really stop the violence? Meantime, officials in Pittsburgh are taking a different approach. The mayor there recently signed legislation restricting the use of assault-style weapons in the city, but the NRA has already filed suit trying to stop it. And here in Colorado, they've taken yet another approach, passing a red flag gun law, allowing family members or law enforcement to petition a court to temporarily remove someone's gun for up to a year. So people are taking action. What do you think about the action, Tori?
I'm fully against arming teachers, and for me, it's too much for few skills to have. And at some point, we've already had a bullet go off and hit someone in Florida. It's not right for teachers to have to deal with all of that, and you're ending up with a lot of whizzing bullets by you. I think it's absolutely outrageous. Now, I do think the wave of the future is what Colorado just passed. It's called the red flag law, and I believe it's the transition between absolutely no gun control and some gun control. And it just says, in an extreme risk, you can take a gun.
What if a student grabs a gun for mommy or daddy's?
Absolutely. I'm sorry, Tori. I have to disagree with you on that, not arming teachers. We have to arm certain teachers. They have to go through extensive training each month. They have to go through the police simulator that I went through.
How much are you going to pay them more?
It doesn't. You pay them more.
Really?
We got money for walls and we got money for
they don't have
all
money
types
for
of
teacher
things.
salaries in America, apparently.
Protecting our children, yes, we should. Certain teachers, because we've done stories where teachers are fighting students, that sort of thing. You should go through mental checks and evaluations each month to make sure the right sheepdogs are protecting the sheep.
Listen, I hear where you're coming from, and a lot of people share your point of view, and I'm conflicted. Believe me, I'm on Tori's side on this. I want less guns, but in America where there's so many guns, of course you hear the argument, you better have a good guy to fight a good guy with a gun to fight a bad guy with a gun. But here's my problem. You have law enforcement experts. You have with tactical training when it comes to firearms that are speaking out saying, I can't even hit a target when I am nervous, or I have a 1 in 100 chance of hitting a target when I am nervous. So how is a teacher with 144 hours, because that's the requirement, far less than these tactical experts, how are they supposed to remain calm? God forbid they lose their cool. God forbid there's a student that overcomes them and takes their gun, which often happens when your home is being burglarized. So then what? So then you have a gun in a classroom because a student was able to overthrow a teacher.
But that's
what about that?
Extensive training.
No.
Extensive. Wait. How long did you say the teachers have to go on a course?
144 hours.
It's absolute. To be honest, I'm absolutely disgusted. I think it's absolutely disgusting of America to even suggest that this should happen. In 2017, there was 120 guns per 100 people. What's a good idea? I know, let's add more guns. It's ludicrous. I'm sorry. We're always told we're not meant to say anything about this and that in America, guns rule all. But you know what? Do you know how many school deaths there have been in England? 16 once, and it's never happened again. Do you know how many, it actually upsets me reading these numbers, 2,900 children are shot every year in America, 15,600 are injured, 3 million American children every single year are exposed to shooting. So you know what? Give that teacher a gun. Good luck.
And you're saying
to have a gun,
and you don't want
as
to
a
arm the
police
teacher.
officer
You just want to flip over a desk and hope the bullet doesn't hit
have a gun, even as a police officer in England, you have to go on a course for over 5 months. You have to be in the force for over 2 years. You know what? One of our own counties, they've never even used a gun once in the entire history of having guns. guns. So do you want to tell me that my country is wrong, or do you want to look at the deaths that you're getting every single day in your country?
So flip
There
the
is
desk,
something
flip the
wrong.
desk and pray that the gunman doesn't come into the classroom. Let's just do that.
Okay, so here's the thing. Clearly, there's a lot of emotion here, and I know that our viewers, I'm sure, are siding with both of you. That's where we are in America right now. None of us can decide on what the solution is.
Absolutely.
And
But the problem with that is that there's no transition. And when you say these red flag laws, which are which bridge Brandon's idea to your idea. If you see someone with a mental health issue, you are allowed to call the police and have them take away a gun. Anyone
They shouldn't have had a gun in the first. I'm sorry, they shouldn't have had a gun in the first place. In the UK, to have a gun, you can have a gun at the age of 14.
But we're not
by the way,
the UK. We're a gun-happy country.
Yeah, in England we are. At the age of 14, you can have your own gun. It's no problem. You go, you have an interview with a police officer. He sits down, he goes through your mental records, and you have to deem yourself
That's a
as being
different
okay.
culture than America.
At 14, you can have a rifle.
I know.
It makes
Believe
no
me.
sense.
Here's the thing. I hope and I pray that our country can come together.
Absolutely.
I hope and I pray that the Stephanies and the Brandons and the Tories and the Sams can all come together. The good news is emotion leads to activism.
Absolutely.
So the passion in your voice and the passion in your voice, and believe me, we will figure this out. I pray we will. That's the only thing that we can go off of. DBL Nation, chime in, especially if you're a teacher, especially if you're law enforcement. Let me know if you're living in Florida. We want to hear from you because you guys are the ones that are dealing with this as we speak. Wow, this is America.